So, nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihil kareem. Amma ba'ad, a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. قال الله تعالى إن هدى الله هو الهدى وقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم خيركم من تعلم القرآن وعلمه صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله الكريم ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي اللهم ارحمني بالقرآن العظيم واجعله لي إماما ونورا وهدى ورحمة وَجْعَلْهُ لِي حُجَّةً يَا رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ رَبِّ يَسِّرْ وَلَا تُعَسِّرْ وَتَمِّمْ بِالْخَيْرِ Ameen summa ameen. So Alhamdulillah, once again, with the extreme mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, without our own effort, we are able to come together once again and inshallah learn about the language of the Quran. And Alhamdulillah, I believe that we are making a lot of progress. Do we agree on that?
Alhamdulillah.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, so let's see. MashaAllah, 14 people now. That's good. That's a good start. Brother Khurram is here. Brother Khalid is still missing. No problem. Brother Jad is working on that. Because with his participation, we have another dimension in the class, inshallah. So I will wait for him. Okay, no worries. So today, as I mentioned in my message, last week we had an excellent review session. Agree?
Yes.
Alhamdulillah.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah.
And did we, sorry, is somebody saying something? I didn't hear them. Let me open this. Let me do one more thing quickly. Tell me if you are able to hear me better now. Are you able to hear me better now?
We were hearing you okay both
Let me
times.
see. Okay, good. Just want to make sure, because in the recording sometimes the sound gets a little bit distorted. Okay, so today we are not going to talk about the previous stuff because I think we have spent enough time on the previous stuff. Agree?
Alhamdulillah, and that concept is Alhamdulillah clear now.
And I believe that last time, let me point this out again, one of our students, namely Sister Unaiza, mashallah, she did such a great job that not only she answered all the questions right, but in the process, I believe she motivated other people to catch up on things. Is that correct understanding?
Yes.
Alhamdulillah, I see that she was a catalyst in getting other people to start reviewing and maybe getting ahead of everyone else. So that's why I see some improvement in a bunch of my students, and I got a very positive feedback. So Jazakallah khairan, Sister Unaiza, keep up the good work. So today we are only going to focus on the new stuff, or last time I did not have the time to do the Mu'talul Fa, which was Misal.
Yes.
So we are going to review that in the first session for the first 1 hour. We are going to focus on that. And then in the next session, we are going to talk about Ajwaf. We will basically introduce Ajwaf, go over some rules, and then we will do our Quran reading. And then inshallah next week, we will go review Ajwaf and then learn more about Ajwaf. Sound like a plan?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so let's review our information, what we already know, and by now this should be very, very familiar to us. So we have ghair sahih af'al, or the unsound verbs, and the categories are mahmuz, and as soon as I say mahmuz, hamza comes in my mind. When hamza comes in my mind, I know that I'm dealing with 3 root letter verbs, and those 3 root letters are identified by the pattern fa'ala. So we have a fa position and the ain position and the lam position.
And lam position.
Right? So this hamza could occur in the fa position, the ain position, or the lam position.
Lam position.
Got it? Similarly,
Yes.
the second concept is
Is
mudaf.
mudaf.
Okay.
Repeat.
That is the double letter, meaning a letter in the root the three root letters, two of them are repeating. So in this one, it's in the fa position and the lam position. In this one, it's in the fa position, in the ain position. And in this one, we have in the ain position,
Lam position.
in the lam position. Now, let's stop here for a second and think about mahmuz. We said the most changes in the category of mahmuz occurs in the mahmuzul fa. Agree?
Yes.
And that is why we said the other changes are so rare, we are not going to focus too much on them, but we are going to focus on mahmuzul fa. So that's what we learned, the rules of mahmuzul fa. For muda'af, we said that we are going to focus on the rules when the muda'af is in the position of ain and lam position, right?
Yes.
And then the rules for mahmuz are a takhfif, and the rules for muda'af is known as idgham,
Idgham.
right? Takhfif means you hiding something, you're trying to not say it, or you delete it. But in the idgham, you are merging, you're trying to merge. Okay. So next subject is mu'tal.
Mu'tal.
That means we are now dealing with the weak letters. Okay. There are two
Wow.
weak letters.
Waw and ya.
Wow and ya. So then the wow could be in the fa position, like in these two situations, the wow and the ya in the fa
Misa.
position. In the next one, the wow and the ya is in the ain position, and the
Ajwa.
wow and the ya is in the lam position.
Nakas.
Okay, so we have the names for them. Misal, we have
Ajwa
ajwaf, we
and
have
Akis.
naqis. Then we also have a situation when they are right next to each other. There are two weak letters, but they are right next to each other. So in this one,
Lafif.
ra, wa, ya. So we call it, and then waw, qaf, ya, and there is a letter in between. So this is called lafif, and we give them another name, makroon. And
Makruh.
so I believe and I hope that this information is like printed in our head now. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Then we have a Misale Wabi, Misale Yabi.
Yes. So now because the waw and ya are in the whatever position they are known as wawi when they are waw, and yai when they are ya. Making sense?
Yes.
Okay. So today we are going to look at, and then we talked about the takhfif, idgham, and ta'lil. So the rules we apply on the mu'tal category, whether it's misal, ajwaf, naqis, lafif, we call them rules of ta'lil. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yes.
what is the main, like what is the gist of ta'lil? Ta'lil is that we are going to replace one weak letter with another one. So if we have a waw and if we have a ya, they are going to interchange into each other. But we also know that alif is also considered a weak letter. So you will also see that based on the haraka, it could change into alif as well. Making sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now we know that the verbs are salasi mujarrad, meaning there are three root letter verbs. But then there are also salasi mazid fi. Yes, meaning there are other families where there are more than three root letters. In this course, considering the fact that it's a basic course, we have not covered the mazid fi families yet. So we're not talking about the mazid fi families rules. Agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Eventually, the next session after this course will be to learn the mazid fi families. And then when we learn them, we are going to look at their sound verbs, and we will also look at their unsound verbs, which inshallah could happen sometime after Ramadan. Are you guys up for that?
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Very good. So based on this information, we are going to today focus on al-mithal. And in the English name for al-misal is assimilated verb.
Simulated verb.
Okay. So when we are dealing with waw or ya in fa kalima, we apply rules of ta'lil. What do we do?
Talil.
So what we are trying to do in the rules basically replace one
One
weak
weak
letter
letter with another weak
another
letter.
weak letter. The second will be remove the weak letter altogether.
Altogether.
Okay.
Okay. Mostly the changes occur in al-misalu wawi,
Wabi.
Wawi.
while fewer changes occur in misalul
Ya'i.
ya'i. So where do you think our focus should be? On
Wabi.
misalul wawi.
Wabi.
Changes occur in present future tense only. If I give you this piece of information, then you know that for the madi, the conjugation will be without any change. Does that make you feel better?
Yes.
Yes. So now you don't have to worry about when you are dealing with al-mithal and wawi, you know that you are not worried about the past tense, but you have to focus on the present and the future tense only. Yes? So the rules apply on the 3 root letter verbs, meaning Salasi Mujarrad families. How many families we have in Salasi Mujarrad?
6.
6.
Fataha, Daraba,
Daraba, Hasiba, Sami'a,
Hasiba. Karuma.
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 Now, when we were dealing with Mahmuz and Muda'af, we said which families specifically get affected by those rules, right?
Yeah.
So in this mithal, Talil, the rule of Talil will be affected by families of Fataha, Daraba and Hasiba. So do you have to worry about Nasara and Samia and Karuma?
Karuma. No.
No. Your focus will be on Fataha, Daraba, Hasiba.
Daba.
Hasiba. Fataha, Daraba, Hasiba.
So far so good. Are we good with the theory, the concept?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So this one slide, now I'm going
I
to
just have
Yeah.
just have a question. The thing that a slide before this, you said something assimilated verbs or
Yeah.
something. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
this
What?
one.
Yes, this one. What does that mean? Like which
Okay.
are
So
is just the name or?
it's just the name in English language. If you are dealing with
Okay.
al-misal in an English language, if you're reading a book which is trying to
Okay.
teach you Arabic, they're gonna say al-misal is assimilated verb.
Okay.
Like for example, Mahmoud, they say Hamza-ated verbs. Okay.
Okay.
So this is
Right.
just the
Just a
jargon,
term.
the
Yeah.
term for saying. If you want to say al-misal in English language, you will say assimilated verb. Okay.
Okay. So that.
All right. Yeah. So now, when we are dealing with the assimilated verbs, the same information I've given you, I'm going to reiterate with some more details. Okay. So let's look at this. In this kind of verb, the initial radical is weak. That is waw or ya, and comes in the place of fa kalima. Anything new here?
No.
What is misal? Either is waw or ya.
Oh, yeah.
What is the
In the
position?
fa
Fa kalima.
Opposition.
That is why we are calling it misal,
Misal.
right? Because if it was in the ain position, then we will call it ajwa.
Ajwa.
And if it was in the lam position, we will be calling it
Naqis.
naqis. So now as we are progressing in the course, obviously after the misal, we are going to deal with ajwaf. After the ajwaf, we are going to deal with naqis. And then we will talk about lafif, correct?
Yeah.
And that is the end of our course because that is the few things we are trying to understand one by one. Okay, so let's look at this. So they are of two basic kinds. Al-misalul wawi, where waw comes in the place of fa, the first radical. Some of the example are wazara, wa'ada, wajada. You see that?
Yeah.
Because if I apply the fataha family, then this will be wazara in madi. Wa'ada, yes?
Yeah.
Wajada. Okay.
Yeah.
So if misalul ya'i, then I have these ya'isa, yasara, yakana, something like that. Okay. So mostly the changes occur. Can you guys see the screen or you can't?
Yes.
Yeah, we can
Yes.
see it. Okay.
I have the meeting controls, so they are hovering, hiding part of my screen. Let me just get rid of them. Okay, so mostly the changes occur in misalul wawi, while fewer changes occur in the misalul yai. Isn't that what I said in the previous slide?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. So this is the explanation of the concepts I created earlier, and now you have the material to review them when you have time. Okay, let's see what else. Okay. All right. So the rules of ta'lil apply on assimilated verbs. And misalul wawi, so he's saying it is not used in bab nasara yansuru. Did I say that we don't have to worry about nasara yansuru?
Yeah. No.
Yes.
And changes in misalul wawi occurs only in mudare. Did I say that only present and future
Yeah.
tense?
Yeah.
Good. Changes occur only in 3 abwab, meaning
Yes.
fataha, daraba.
Daraba,
And
hasiba,
hasiba.
Okay.
yaftahu, yadribu, yahsibu.
The change is that the waw drops in mudare. For example, if you have the wahaba from fataha family, it should be wahaba yahabu. Now, I'm going to show you on a piece of paper that where did the waw disappear in the mudare. Making sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yahabu.
now try to see it, visualize it. There was supposed to be a waw here, but it disappeared when we made from madi to mudare. Making sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So walaja. So from daraba. Walaja. Yaliju. You see that when you do the mudare, the waw is dropped. Agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Similarly, warisa from hasiba. Yes?
Yarisu.
Warisa, madi, yarisu, mudare. I don't see any waw in here. Follow?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Waw is
So-
replaced with another weak letter.
Yes.
Ya.
Okay, so let's recap. Recap is we know that misalul wawi, meaning when the waw is in the fa position, we know that it will change mostly. Misalul ya'i will not change that much. And it will not change in Nasara Yansuru family. Okay, it will
Yes.
only change in Fataha, Daraba,
Daraba,
Hasiba family.
hasiba family.
And it will not change the Madi, it will only change the Mudare.
Present and future.
Okay, is everybody with me on this? So far, so good?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Just a comment on brother
Yes.
brother Abbasi. Is not the weak is changed with the weak letter. Is the weak letter is dropped here.
Yeah,
Completely.
in this situation, the weak letter is dropped. Yes, that's correct. Okay. All right. So now let's look at misalul ya'i. It is not used in abwab, nasara, and hasiba of salasi mujarrad. So now this kind of a statement is easy for you to understand, I hope. Yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So if I have ya, sin, ra, and I have bab dariba or daraba, it become yasara,
Yes.
yasiru,
Yes.
yaysiru, yaysiru.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Then ya, noon, ain. Do I see a ya in the fa kalima?
Yes.
Yes.
So it is a misalul ya'i.
Ya'i. Yeah.
Okay. Yana'a,
Yay now.
Yayna'u. Yes. And there is a translation also there so that you know what the meaning of it is. Okay. Ya, ta, mim. So yatima, yaytamu. Yatima,
Yay.
okay. All right. So now the ya, qaf, za. Yakuzu, yakuza, yaykuzu. Yes. Did I say it right, Brother Khalid?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. So some more rules apply on assimilated verb. Some more rules are what? Before waw sakin, if there is kasra, then the waw changes into ya. That's rule number 1. Okay. And again, we will review this again, but just try to put it in your head for now. Before ya sakin, if there is dhamma, then ya changes into waw. You see they're changing into each other depending on the haraka.
Yeah.
Nothing new here, right?
Yeah. It's similar to what we saw in other Hamas.
Right.
Mahmoud.
So look it here in this example. The waw sakina, is it waw sakin here?
Yes.
And is there a haraka kasra before the waw?
Yes.
Yes.
So it will become, now try to pronounce the one on the left.
Salun.
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 Salun. Can you say it with the without twisting your tongue or something? Is it
No.
easy to say?
No, it's not. Not.
But if you change it to ya, Salun. You see why is it Sister Jahan I'm hearing in the background?
Yeah.
Sister Jahan.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You see the point here that why this rule number 1 applied and it changes from
Yes, it's easy. Yeah, because it's a kasra, then it's easier for yai, right? Yeah.
Yes. So you saw that what happened here. Now look at this one. I think this is there is a typo. This yuikinu should be on the left here.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And this is supposed to be on the right.
Yeah.
So this is the mistake done by the person who did it. But that's a typo. That's not a problem. So if there was a word yuikinu, which is like there is a ya sakina, and then there is a dhamma before it, then it will should become yukinu. Right? Now imagine, have you seen this word in the Quran? Yuikinu?
No.
Or yusalun? No. Because then it will be very hard for the reader to pronounce it. So these rules of grammar applies to make them easy to say. Yukinu is very easy to say. Isalun is very easy to say. Good?
Yeah.
So far so good? Okay. Now,
Alhamdulillah.
so alhamdulillah, next time when you read Quran and you come across these words and now you have this extra knowledge, you know that, oh, there was a waw here and it got changed into a ya. Now, how soon that's going to come to you? With a lot of practice and experience. It's not going to happen, let's say, tomorrow. But if you keep on focusing, then inshallah you will see. And that's for that reason, you need to have a dictionary or some tools to keep looking up these words in the Quran and see, oh, there was a hamza here. Oh, there was a waw, and this was a wawi, this was a ya'i, or this is misal, this is nakis, then only then you will be able to make this distinction in your head. Now, look at this, and we will, okay, I think before I do this, let's go on a piece of paper here. Let's see. I see, okay. All right. Can you guys see my computer screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Now,
Yes, we do.
Yeah, I'm going to share this with you. I shared this with, I think, session number 3, I believe. So, Ma'tulul Fa. His name is Misal. Yes?
Yeah.
And we know that it could be Misalul Wawi or Misalul Ya'i.
Yeah.
Right? So, if I say Wa'ada, is it Wawi?
Yes, wawi.
Yes.
Ya'isa,
Ya'i.
Wazara,
Wawi.
Wawi, Yasira,
Ya'i.
Yai.
Warisa,
Wawi.
Wavi.
Yabisa.
Ya'i.
Yai.
Okay, so if I take and look, if I tell you, the rules are replace one weak letter with another one, or remove weak letter altogether.
Mhm.
Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Most rules will apply to Wawi, Salasi Mujarrad. Yes.
Yeah.
And what Babs they're going to apply to? Daraba,
Daraba,
Fataha.
Fataha, and Hasib.
Okay. So now, if I take Bab Daraba, and I said Bab
Sorry, brother. When we were talking earlier, we said the on the Wabi is only Bab Darab. Bab Darab. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. No. Sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I said Bab Nasara. No. See that cross here?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say we take this example Wa'ada. Okay. And we take the family Daraba. So what is the family Daraba? Daraba Yad Ribu.
Ribu.
Yes?
Yeah.
Everybody with me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So Madi is Daraba. Mudare is Yad Ribu.
Yadribu.
Okay. So if I put Daraba, the Wa'ada in Daraba will become Wa'ada. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if I put the same root letters in the Mudare, it will become
Yawidu.
Yawidu or Yawidu.
Yep.
Agree?
Yep.
Do you feel good saying
Yeah.
Yawidu?
It's not. comfortable for pronouncing.
Okay, so if you cross out the waw, then it will leave behind ya'idu.
Ya'idu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The waw is dropped.
Okay.
Okay. Now in the Arabic language, when you delete something or you drop something, you call it hazaf. Hazaf. You made it disappear. Okay. Hazaf kar diya usko.
Hazaf kar diya, remove kar diya.
Remove kar diya. And sometime, you know how we say rafa and then we say marfu. So when we say hazaf, we also say mahzuf,
Mahzuf. Yeah.
meaning that thing is being hazaf. When something was hazafed, it was called mahzuf. That it was there, but we think it was not there. Is that making sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So now let's look at the letter wa, ha, ba. Okay. Fataha family. What will be the substitution? Fataha will change into wahaba.
Wahaba.
And yaftahu will become
Yawhabu.
yawhabu. Is that sounding good?
No.
So that will become yahabu.
Yahabu.
Yes, making
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Walaja. Okay. From Daraba family again.
Yeah.
So walaja yawliju. Yawliju. Now, if I didn't write it down, would you be able to see this?
No.
Because if I say the answer is walaja yaliju, you will be thinking, how did it become yaliju? It's supposed to be yadribu, or there's supposed to be a waw here. Yes?
Yes.
So when it become, the waw dropped yaliju. Making sense?
Yeah.
So if we take Samia Yasmau family and the root words are, or the root letters are waw, ra, sa, it will become warisa, yawrisu. Yawrisu. Then the waw is dropped, it will become yarisu.
Yarisu.
Okay, good.
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Abid.
Ji.
The very first one, Wahaba,
Yeah.
Yuhabo, then it goes to Yahab,
Yahabu.
Yahabo, and what is Tahabo?
Okay, I didn't talk about that yet, but if you just focus on this part, this is what we're talking about. Okay. But since you asked, when you make a fi'l amr, when you make a order, now the fi'l amr, do you remember what fi'l amr is?
Imperative.
Yeah.
Command. When you give a command,
Yeah.
right? Brother Afzal?
Ji.
Okay, I'm trying to explain this to you now.
Yeah.
So when you want to give a command in Arabic language, you have to make it from mudare and from the
Okay.
second person.
Okay.
Yes. So it will become tahabu, because that's how the command is.
Okay.
Once you remove the alamat mudare, because from yahabu it will become tahabu, and in the command the alamat mudare is dropped, then you will become hab.
All right. Okay. Jazakallah khair.
And in Suratul Maryam, if you say, when Hazrat Zakaria asks Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give him a child, so he said habli min ladunka waliya. So habli. So there is supposed to be a waw there, but the waw was dropped because of the talilul misal.
Jazakallah khair.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So let me see what I can tell you in a second. Okay, now let's look at this one now. This is misal wawi.
Wawi.
correct?
Yeah.
No, sorry, this is
Yeah.
okay. No, this
No.
is wawi.
Wabi.
Wawi. Okay. So if we do the daraba yadribu conjugation on these new root letters, which is waw, jim, and dal, and we said there is no change in what do you call
Madi.
Madi. So look at the conjugation. Wajada, wajada, wajadu. Yes.
Yeah.
Wajadat, wajadata, wajadna.
Jatana.
Wajatta, wajattuma, wajattum,
Tum.
wajatti, wajattuma, wajattunna,
Tunna.
No.
wajattu, wajatna.
Wajadna.
Yes. So no change whatsoever in the Madi Gardan. Agree?
Yeah.
But look at the Mudari Gardan. Yajidu, yajidani, yajiduna,
Yajiduna.
tajidu, tajidani, yajidna,
Yajidna.
tajidu, tajidani, tajiduna, tajidina, tajidani, tajidna, ajidu, najidu.
Najidu.
Now imagine if we apply the rule of the wow here, then you would know that the wow doesn't sound right. So what happened in Mudare is the wow has been replaced in all 14 sigas,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's been dropped.
Okay. So how do we see that? Let me write it down. For example, if I want to write, so we know that the Mudare is Yad. I'm writing it. You're not seeing it right now because I'm writing it down. Then just keep a look on the screen for now and try to get your head around it. Yadribu. Then it will be Yadri.
Yawjidu, yawjidani, yawjiduna. Tawjidu, tawjidani, yawjidna.
Ajidna. Ajidu, najidu.
Wajida, yajida.
Okay. Okay. Does anybody know what Vajida means?
Wajada means you go, you got it.
You found.
Found it, yeah.
Okay. So look at this. What are our root letters?
Waw, Jim,
Jim,
Jim, Dal.
Is this Siga number 1?
Yes.
And this is number 2
Number 2.
and number 3.
This is number 3.
Did I write it right? Yadribu, Yadribani.
Yadribuna.
Yadribuna.
Okay. So we know that this Ya is the Alamat Mudare. So we just have to copy. Yes?
Yeah.
Now, is the Dod our Fa letter?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, Allah.
Is
Yeah.
the Waw our Fa letter?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're gonna say you, and there is a sukoon on the Dod, right? So we're gonna
Yeah.
put a sukoon here. Then
Yeah.
this is our Ain letter, which is Jim,
Jim.
right?
Kasra.
Yeah.
And the
Dal.
Ba is the Lam letter, so it will become
Dal. Dal.
Yaji,
Yawjidu.
Yaw, Jidu. Okay. Now let's do the same thing over here. Ya, Wow,
Yawjidane.
something like this.
Yeah.
Yaw,
Jidane.
okay.
Yawjiduna.
Yawjiduna.
Yaw,
Jiduna.
Jim.
Dal, wow.
Dal, Waw.
Wow.
So something like that. Yaji, Duna.
Yawjiduna. Yeah.
Yaw, Jiduna.
Yawjiduna.
So do you like this?
No,
Do you-
yajidu. Replace wow with ya.
So let's
No.
cancel this.
Drop wow.
Drop
Drop
wow,
wow.
drop wow, drop wow. Yes?
Yes.
It will become Ya.
Yajidu.
Yeah, Jidu.
So far so good?
Yeah.
So far, so good.
Yes,
Okay.
Alhamdulillah.
Then Ya, Ji,
Yajiduna.
Yajidun.
Yajidane.
Yajidani.
Da, Ni. Yes? Yajidani.
Yawjidu.
And then it
Yajidun.
become Ya,
Yajiduna.
Yajiduna.
yes?
Yes.
Ji.
Okay. So this is what I was trying to tell you, that how writing it down can give you the clear picture. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. So let's see what else we can do. Okay. So if we do the
Can you go to backs for a
the
second?
camera?
Backs, yeah, on your paper. So in the last one, Yajiduna. So where the wow has been replaced? Ya is ya.
Dropped.
No, so wow is dropped, right? So I took the wow out and then I connected them.
It is totally gone in this one.
Yes, totally gone because there is no wow in any of these.
Yeah.
Yes. So that is why it's called, this wow is completely dropped. So
Rule number
misalul wawi, yes. Misalul wawi, we completely dropping the wow here. Okay. Now let's take a look at some more examples. So if I go into fataha, okay, and the root words are waw, zal, and ra, then it will become wazara, wazara, wazaru, wazarat, wazarata, wazarna, wazarata, wazartuma, wazartum, wazarti, wazartuma, wazartunna, wazartu, wazarna. Any change in Madi?
No.
No Madi change. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at Yaziru, Yazirani, Yaziruna. Taziru, Tazirani, Yazarna. Tazaru, Tazarani, Tazaruna. Yes? Tazarina, Tazarani, Tazarna. Azaru, Nazar. What happened? Wow has been
dropped.
So let's do a little exercise on that, and let me write it down first, and then I'll show you. By the way, who has been writing it down from now on?
Me, brother, but it's a little tough to kind of keep up the speed.
No, not right now. In your own time.
Me.
Yes.
Okay. Now let's see if I have written it down correctly. Okay. Yaftahu, yaftahani, yaftahuna. Let's see. Because I myself am not writing that much today or in these days, so I'm having a little bit rusty handwriting. Okay. So can you see that?
Yeah.
So I believe our root letter was wa, za,
Zara.
yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So yaf, there is a sakina here, right?
Yeah.
Yaftahu.
Yaftaha. Yaftahu.
Yaftahu.
Yaftahu. Yaftahani.
No, yaftah, is it yaftahu?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yaftahu.
Yaftahani.
Yaftahuna.
Yaftahuna.
Yes.
Yaftahu.
So we are going to take wow, the ya as it is, then the wow. It will become
Yawzara.
the
Ru.
zaru.
Yaziru.
Yawzaru.
Okay, so it will become drop the wow.
Yaziru.
Yazara.
Yaziru.
Yazaru.
Yaziru.
Ru. Got it?
Yeah.
So this is how we are getting here. So if you do this for all 14 sigas and you do the substitution, inshallah you will get the final version. Okay. So here again you, then the
Yuzarane.
Yuzarano.
Yuzarane.
Yuzarani. Did I write it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yuzarani.
No, it was
Yawzarani.
Yawzarane.
Fatha.
Yes. Yawzir. Again, it will become
Yazirane.
Yazarani.
Yazarane.
something like that. Yes. Agree?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yawzaruna. Yawzaruna.
Daruna.
Okay.
Zaruna.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So ra.
Wow. Damma on ra.
Rafi.
Yeah.
Yazaruna.
Duma.
Dhamma.
Yazaruna. Okay. So
Mm.
then it will become
Yazaruna.
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 Yazaruna. Okay. I've been a little bit rusty on the handwriting. Okay. Now let's see if we look at again. It will become Yazarani. Yazaruna.
Runa.
Yazaruna.
That's the line we did.
Yeah.
So if you apply the same rule on the other one, you will not find the wow in any one of them. Agree?
Yeah.
Brother Abid,
Yes.
if I'm looking at the word yadaru in the Quran, I wouldn't know what the root letters are. So the tool that you sent, the Corpus Quran, which gives us the root letter of the word.
Okay. The other tool which I strongly recommend is this one. You see this one?
Mm.
Right? So if you know where Yazaru is, you search by going into that surah and then you try to find it on the page, right? Then inshallah you can find it. So for example, if I take this and open in a new tab, do you know any place where you have found Yazaruna? Do you know on your top of your head?
No.
No. Okay. So for example, if I show you something here, if I go to Surah Al-Baqarah, okay, let's go to the next page. Okay, see this yu'minuna?
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
I'm just giving you an example. And if I click on it, then you see this yu'minuna is from Aslama Yuslimu family, which is if'alun. Is it mujarrad or mazid fi?
Masjid fi is not mujarrad.
Have we covered mujarrad yet? Mazid fi yet?
No.
No. And is this Samiya Yasma'u family?
Yeah, it's mujarrad.
Yes.
It's mujarrad. Now, do we know this? This is Mahmuzul Fa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So when we see that this is Mahmuzul Fa, look at what happened. This changes. Remember, in the
Yeah.
last siga it will change. So over here, Ismul Fa'il is with the standing alif. Okay. So this kind of tool, when you are really looking at a word or a verb, it gives you the details. So we know that, and I'm sure by now you can read all of this. Fi'l mudare. Why is it fi'l mudare? Because of the ya.
Mm.
Is it jama? Is it yu'minuna or yu'min?
Yeah. Yeah. Jama.
Jama. Is it male or female?
Muzakkar.
Is it a third person or a second person or first person?
Is the second person.
Third person. So third person is
Third person.
ghaib. Yes. And ma'loom mean this is active voice. It's not passive voice. Making sense? Since we did not talk about active passive, so I don't want to confuse you, but I just wanted to tell you that in the very first page of Quran, the Surah Al-Baqarah, if you look at these verses, they are all part of ghair sahi afal. Yuqimuna is mahmuzul fa. Okay, let's look at yuqimuna. Yuqimuna is ajwaf
Qawama.
Qawama, right? And today when I tell you about this, you will know, oh my God, this is so much in the Quran that you cannot even think about ignoring it. Okay, so why Aslama Yuslimu? Because this is the Mazid Fi family. Look what happened. Akama Yukimu. There is no wow in Yukimu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Similarly, Nasara Yansuru, it should have been Kawama.
Yeah.
If you look at the wow and you kama, it should be kawama. But what happened to kawama? It changed into alif.
Yeah.
And look at the it should have been yaukumu. Yaukumu. But it become yakumu.
Dropped.
Okay. So just to give you an example that how do you find the root words? Dictionary is one way. But I feel this is much easier way to find because you don't have to, even the searching the dictionary is a very hard thing to do.
Right.
Especially when it's a piece of paper, you know. Digitally, if it's just a PDF and there is no search capability, it's going to be extremely hard. But open this tool, go to the verse you are looking at, and then go ahead and, just go and click on it. So for example, Raiva, you know that it's Ra, Ya, Ba. Is it Ajb of Ya'i?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So it should have been Raiba.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
but it's Raba.
Replaced.
Yeah. Rama.
Okay. So inshallah, is everybody else getting this? Because everybody's so quiet today. Where is Sister Homa?
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum. I'm here.
Wa alaikum salam. So Sister Homa, are you with us so far?
Yes, I'm here. Yeah,
Okay.
understand.
Brother Murad,
Ji, yes, I'm here.
Brother Yaqub. Brother Yaqub, are you good? Or he's muted.
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay. Brother Naseeb.
موجود.
Mawjood.
As
I'm not taking attendance. I'm asking if you're getting. Yeah. Javed bhai.
Yes, I'm Majud.
Okay, Sister Lubna. Sister Lubna is very quiet today too.
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum. I'm listening.
MashaAllah. Okay, so Brother Khurram, you're good?
Alhamdulillah. Thank you.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, so let's get back to our lecture. We go back here, and so we are clear on how we do the Fataha with the example Yazaru. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now Hasiba Yahsibu. There is same thing here. Madi, no change. Warisa, Waritha, Warithu, Warisat, Warisata, Warisna, Warista, Waristuma, Waristum, Waristi, Waristuma, Waristunna, Waristu, Warisna. Yes. Now the Madi, Mudare, Yarisu, Yarisani, Yarisuna.
Yeah.
Tarisu, Tarithani, Yarithna. Tarithu, Tarithani, Tarithuna, Tarithina, Tarisani, Tarisna. Arisu, Narisu. Do you see any wow in here?
No.
No, why?
No. Now, if the least you can do is write down these charts, just copy and with your own hand, on a piece of paper. Can you do that?
Sure.
Yes, we will do that.
Okay. Any questions so far in your mind about this? You want to do a quick recap, like what we have done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Instead of me, go ahead, Sister Jahan, go ahead. Sister Jahan, you were saying something?
No, I wasn't saying anything. No.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a volunteer. I'm gonna call on Sister Unaiza and ask her to explain the summary of what we have talked about so far. And if she couldn't, and I'm sure she will, but if she couldn't, then somebody else can jump in and help her out. So let's start from the page number 1. Okay, let's go ahead over here. Okay, so before I do that, so that if I show this, then there is. Okay, Sister Unaiza, are you up for this challenge?
Inshallah, I'll try.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so this is for the Talil rules. That is for Mutalul Fa.
Mhm.
And the rules are that you replace one weak letter with another weak letter,
Mhm.
or you remove the weak letter altogether.
Very good.
This is for Salasi Mujarrad, because that's what we're focusing in this course.
Yes.
And there are 3 babs that we are this rule apply, and that's Daraba, Fataha, and Hasiba.
Okay.
And this rule mostly applies for Wawi and not for Yai. It will be it's like very less on Yai.
Mhm.
And no change in Fe'le Madi, but in Mudare.
Okay.
And for example, if you have like root letters are Waw, Ain, and Da, and it's on Bab Daraba, it's Wa'ada, but then the Mudare would be Ya'idu, but we will drop the Waw and it becomes Ya'idu. So, and then removing of the Waw in Arabic is called Hazaf.
Mhm.
And
anything you delete, you call hazaf. You making a hazaf on that thing. Yeah.
oh yes, anything that you delete will be called removing anything. Removing means hazaf in Arabic. So when we remove wow here, we hazaf wow basically. And then if a fatah is followed by a wow or a ya, the wow or ya is changed into, that we haven't done with you.
So
and
yes,
this was the other rule that from the other time.
Yes,
Sorry.
if there is a wow,
Yeah.
sakina, and then there is a haraka behind it, then based on that haraka is either change it into ya or alif or
Yes.
wow, ya.
Yes.
So kasra will change into ya,
Yeah.
dhamma will change into wow.
Wow. Yes.
Jazakallah khairan. This is excellent. So you got a gist of everything. It's just a matter of now doing it to practice to make it better. Okay, Brother Khurram, could you please repeat maybe similar or add something new?
Maybe I can repeat.
Okay, repeat. Good.
So this is for the assimilated verbs, and the rules are: we replace one week letter with another week letter, and then the other one is we sometimes drop the week letter altogether. And these changes occur are applicable mostly to the present and future tense words. They are not applicable to Madi, which is past tense. And the babs that are affected are Bab Fataha, Bab Daraba, and Bab Hasiba. And most of the times this applies to Misal Wawi, wherein the Waw is present in the Fa Kalima. And Misal Yai is not so much affected. And I think that's all I can remember.
Okay, no problem. Jazakallah khair. Very good. Sister Homa, would you like to repeat or say something?
Sure. Assimilated verb, or it's we call it misal, and it's when the weak letter falls in the fa position, and in fa position, and sometimes it's wow or ya. It's possible both of them. So the wow is quite often, but ya is not. So wow kalima is often, but ya kalima is not, and mostly they are changing to
into each other.
Yeah, changing each other, or it can be dropped altogether.
Okay.
And it comes in 3 families: and daraba, fataha, hasiba.
Very good.
And what else?
And the Madi conjugation.
Yeah, the Madi conjugation is not changing, but Madari is changing.
And the Waw is getting dropped altogether.
Yes.
Okay, Jazakallah khair. Brother Murad.
Yes. So we are talking about here of the rules of Al-Mu'attal, the Al-Misal, assimilated verbs, which tells about, we are talking about the weak letters Waw and Ya, and either they are replaced with each other, the one weak letter is replaced by another one, or they are getting changed or dropped off altogether.
Very good. Okay.
And for this, mostly this is done with the Waw and lesser with the Ya.
Very good.
And it's only in the past tense conjugation, we do not have to change anything, while this only applies for Mudare, that is the present and future. And the 3 root letter families that we are generally concerned in this trait, it is Fataha, Daraba, and Hasiba.
Okay, very good.
Yes.
Anything else? Sister Jahan, would you like to tell us something? Your understanding of the subject?
No, brother, I do understand, but it's very hard for me to explain.
That's fine. Sister Nasreen?
Ji.
Would you like to explain?
Okay. So
think for a second, you are the teacher today. So tell me from that angle.
Okay, so today we are learning about Ta'leel, the تعليل المثال, where the weak letters in a verb, in the fa, it applies to the weak letters in a verb, weak letters like wow and ya.
Good.
So one weak letter can be replaced with another weak letter, or the weak letters can be removed completely.
Okay.
Mostly the changes will occur in the mithal wawi,
Very good.
and there will be few times when the changes occur in mithal yayi.
Okay.
And in the past tense, there are no changes. For ta'lil al-mithal, there is no change in madi. Changes occur only in the present, future, the mudari. And these changes, this rule applies on thalathi mujarrad, on bab fataha, daraba, and hasiba.
Okay.
Okay.
And what happened to the Madi conjugation?
In the Madi, there is no change.
Good. And
Yeah.
in the Mudare?
In the Mudari, the waw can be dropped, or how did I say? Yeah, it can be
The
dropped.
waw is dropped altogether.
It's dropped
Great.
altogether.
All right.
Yeah. Example.
Okay. Okay, not a problem. Jazakallah khair, Sister Nasreen. Okay, who else wants to go with it? Brother Ijaz, would you like to do it?
Yes, this is applied to Mu'attal, Ta'leel, Al-Misal, Wawi. When the weak letter is in the waw position, the weak letters are replaced with another weak letter, or just removed, hadaf.
Altogether.
And
Okay.
this is applied to family Fataha, Daraba, and Hasiba. There is no change in past conjugation. It applies only into present and the future conjugation.
Okay.
And
so what happened in the Mudare changes? What is the main thing?
Madare waw is replaced altogether.
Okay, good job. Jazakallah khair. Sister Lubna, you are the last one before we take the break.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So in Fele Misal, because Harfe Illat is in the Fa Kalma, that's why we have no word before that. So we can't change it. We have to accept it as it is with its Illat, with Illat. But in Mazare, we have to drop it with its Alamat Samet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But we are keeping the alamat, like yajidu, the ya is there.
Yeah, but the root words are wajada. Wajada. Yes. So in Mazare, we have to do it, we have to drop it.
We have to drop the wow, but the alamat mudare is still there, yajidu.
Yajidu.
Yes, because the alamat, the weak letter becomes sakin, and because of that we are dropping it, and because it's not easy to say. But the alamat mudare will stay. That's what I'm trying to say.
Alamat mudare will stay, yes. But the harfe illat will be dropped.
Will be dropped.
With its alam. Yeah.
Yes. That's correct understanding. Okay. All right. So looks like it. We got the gist of the subject, and alhamdulillah, looks like it. We have a mental picture of the whole thing. And now if you practice further, inshallah, you will improve on that. So let's take a break. Let's meet at 11:12. And don't leave the meeting. Just mute yourself. And if you have a camera on, just turn it off. And I'll see you in 10 minutes, inshallah. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So, Alhamdulillah, everyone is back. You guys are muted, most of you. So, if you just tell me, then we can start, inshallah. Okay.
Inshallah, we can start.
Inshallah. Okay. So, let's see. Where is my slides? Here. Okay, for Ajwaf, I don't have any information other than the thing. Okay, so we'll start from the camera. Okay. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Everybody
Yes.
good? Okay.
Yes.
So before we were doing Maqtalul Fa. Yes? We just finished doing Maqtalul Fa. And the name was Mithal.
Misal.
Yes.
Babi misal. Yeah.
Now we are doing Maqtalul Ain.
Rain.
What is the name?
Ajwa.
Ajwaf.
Ajwaf. Okay. So can Ajwaf be Wawi?
Yes.
And can Ajwaf be Yai?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good. So if I give you some example, Kawala, Khawf or Kaul, Khawf, Bay or Bayun, or I don't know how to say it, or Shay. Now these Noon and Sin, what does it tell you? The Nasara, Samia,
And Samia.
Dariba, Samia.
Dariba.
Okay. Now so far our rules were a little bit simpler because we were only dealing with one of them. We were like, for example, in Mithal, we were focused on the Wawi only. Yes? Yes?
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
In Ajwaf, we will be looking at both Wawi and Yai. Okay?
Yes.
So the most frequent patterns where Ajwaf Wawi is affected is Bab Nasara and Bab
Samia.
Yeah.
Samia. Okay? Then when you're dealing with Ajwaf Yai, the most two frequent pattern where you will see the change will be Daraba and
Samia.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So in this one, rules apply on both Ajwaf Wawi and Ajwaf Yai.
Yeah.
We're not gonna ignore Yai. We are going to work on that. Okay. So if we take an example of this Kaul, right? And we put pattern Noon. Okay, let's do it on a piece of paper. Let's try to do it together. Okay. So if I write it down like this, the root words are Qaf, Waw, and Lam. Okay. And the pattern you're using is Nasara. Yes. So what do we need to do first? We need to write Madi, and then we
Madari.
yes. So let's look at Nasara. So it will become Nasara.
Nasara.
Yan
Surah.
Uru.
Yansaru.
Yan Su
Uru.
Ru. Yes? Okay. So if we do this, then look over this. The Noon will become Qaf. The Saad become Waw. And the Ra become Lam. What do we see?
Kawala.
Kavala.
Yes. And over here it will become Yan,
Yaqul. Yanqul.
Qaf,
Yaqulu.
Yaqul.
Yakulu.
Yaqul.
okay, Yakwulu.
Yaqulu. Ulu. Yeah.
Yes. Now tell me, in the Quran, have you seen it?
No.
No. Kala.
Qala yaqulu.
Yes. Now, in the rule number 1 is that if the weak letter is in the ayn position and it has haraka, and the previous letter has a haraka of fatha, then it will be replaced with
Alif.
alif, right? So then look, qa, and replace the waw with
Ala.
alif. Qala. Now, have you seen qala in the Quran?
Yes.
Numerous places.
Numerous times, yes. So what is the rule? That if weak letter in ayn position has haraka and the previous letter has a haraka of fatha, it will be replaced with alif. Okay?
Ayn position.
Making sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's look at this one. Over here, yakwalu will become what?
Yaqulu.
Yaqulu.
Okay. So what you did, you give the haraka to the qaf here.
Yeah.
Kaf.
Yes?
Ma.
And then waw become without the haraka. It will
Sukun.
become.
Yeah. Sukun.
Is that clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's take a look at some of the information here. Let's take a look here. So look what happened. Qala, qala, qalu, qalat, qalata, kulna. You see what happened?
Yeah.
But see, it is not kalna. It is not kalna. It is kulna.
Kulna.
So up to Siga number 5, it was fine. But when we looked at Siga number 6, things changed. You see why there is no alif here? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's try to do this. Let's try to do this together. Okay.
Brother Abid,
Yes.
if you can please go back to your paper and explain the Yansuru once again.
Okay.
The
All right.
example.
Let's do this. Okay. So here, tell me which one you want to understand.
Yeah, the Yansuru example itself, if you can
Okay.
just go over it.
So it
Yeah.
was yak wulu. Yes. Yak wulu. Yes.
Okay.
So in the Madi, we changed the waw into
Alif.
Alif. Alif.
right. Why?
Right.
Because there was
Fatha
a
on the
fatha,
waw, fatha on the
a
previous
fatha
one.
before that.
Right.
Now over here, is there a haraka on the first letter?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Fatah. Fatah.
Sakin. No, this is not the first letter. This is alamat mudare, guys. Okay. Ya in mudare is alamat mudare. The actual word is this. Yes, making sense?
Okay.
Yes. So is over here we have haraka on the weak letter in the ayn position, but the previous letter is sakin.
Okay.
Okay. So I think the part I forgot to show you is this. If the weak letter has haraka and the previous letter is sakin, which is in the case of mudare, then all you do, you move the haraka to the previous letter.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Making sense? I think that's the part I forgot to
Yes.
mention. Okay. And again, this time I am only telling you this. Next week, inshallah, we will have more documentation to go into details. But I have it on this piece of paper and I'll be sharing that with you guys. Inshallah.
Sure.
Okay. So the first 5 sigas of Madi will change with alif. You saw qala, qala, qalu, qalat, qalata, then it become kulna.
Kulna.
From siga number 6, it has to change. So that is what I was trying to see, that what happened in siga number 6. So let's look at it. Siga number 6 was supposed to be qaf, kawa.
Lun.
Okay, let's take a look at this. Is this siga number 6? And
Yeah.
is it Madi?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do we have ayn kalima with the haraka?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. We have the qaf with the fatha.
Yeah.
So we know that this will become,
Qal. Qalna.
right? Then it will become.
Yeah.
Now is this alif also has sukoon?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when you have two sukoons right next to each other, does it create a problem?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, is the lam weak letter or alif?
Alif is
Alif.
weak letter.
Alif is a weak letter.
Yes.
Which one we can remove? A
Alif.
strong
Alif.
letter or
Alif,
weak
Alif.
letter?
Weak letter.
Kulna.
Weak letter.
So if we remove the weak letter, then it will become
Qalna.
Kulna.
Qalna.
kalna.
Oh.
Okay, stay with me. There are steps here. So from here, this is step number 1. This is step number 2. But how many times have you seen the word kalna?
No.
No,
Never.
not now.
Never.
Okay, so
Kulna.
the next thing you need to remember is this. When is Bab Nasara, you will change it with Dhamma.
Yes. Kulna.
Ulna. Okay. If is Bab other than Nasara, the other Bab is what? If you see Kasra, then you're going to replace it with what?
Yeah.
Kasra will be
Yeah.
Ya, and Dhamma will be.
Wow.
Got it?
Mhm.
Okay, I know this one Ajwaf is a little bit complicated than the other ones. We have to remember many rules. Okay, but if I'm giving you a week's worth of time, meaning that when you come back next week, and you will have all the previous rules, reviewed and have pretty much understood, then looking at these rules will not be so daunting. Making sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So what we have done so far, we said if we are dealing with Qaf, Waw, Lam with Bab Nasara, and it's Ajwaf because the Waw is in the Ain position. Yes. So this
Yes.
is Ajwaf Wawi. In the Ajwaf Wawi, we said the first rule, we look at Madi and Mudare, we did the substitution. So we said Kawala Yak Wulu. Doesn't sound good. Okay. So we said rule number 1, if the Ain letter or the weak letter has haraka and the previous letter has haraka, depending on the haraka, if it's fatha, we replace it with alif. Qala. This point is clear?
Very much.
Okay. In the mudare, we have yak wulu or yak. This is yak wulu. So what we did, we did not find a haraka on the previous letter, so we give this haraka back to the previous letter, and then it become yakulu in mudare. Making sense? Okay. Then we stopped and we said, okay, if we go to Madi again, we say qala, qala, qalu, qalat, qalata. Then we had kawalna. Siga number 6 should have been kawalna.
Kawalna.
Yes?
Yes.
So what did we do over here? Kawalna becomes kalna. Yes?
Yes.
Because there was a haraka and
Fatana.
there was a haraka here and the previous. So we know that we could change this waw with alif. So we changed it to qaf, and then basically there was no haraka, but we know that no haraka means that there is sukoon here. And then the lam and noon also have sukoon. These two are right next to each other. So in order to deal with that situation, we change it to kalna. Yes? But then we looked at the bab and we said, okay, bab, if we do bab nasara, then you have to change the fatha to kulna. Okay, so over here I said bab nasara, you change into dhamma. Other bab, whether it's fataha or daraba, you change it to kasra. Making sense? So as I said, inshallah, next week I intend.
Brother Abid, what is this? Where is this rule written?
Where is this rule written? I don't have it written yet. I only written on this piece of paper. But inshallah, next week you will have it in the presentation format.
Okay.
Okay. So let's do a quick review what we have done today. In the I said I'm just introducing Ajwaf to you, and inshallah you will get to know more next week. So Matulul Ain is Ajwaf. Any question on that? We know that, right? It's Wawi and Ya'i. No problem there. Wawi is normally from Bab Nasra or Bab Samia. Okay? From Wawi Ajwaf is from pattern of Nasara and Samia. The Yai is mostly from the pattern of Daraba Samia. Making sense? Okay, so when we apply the rules on both Wawi and Yai, we haven't applied the rule on Yai yet, it's only Wawi. Then I said Bab Nasara, if we have Kawala Yakulu, then becomes Qala, Qalat, and I give you the whole thing. And we didn't get a chance to look into the Mudare yet. So based on that, if I give you this, look at this one. So Qala, Qala, Qalu, Qalat, Qalata. Up to Siga number 5, we applied the rule where we removed the Waw with Alif. Yes. Then we did Kulna, Kulta, Kultuma, Kultum, Kulti, Kultuma, Kultunna, Kultu, Kulna. So moving from Siga number 6 for Madi, we changed, we dropped the Alif. Why did we drop the Alif? Because Alif is a weak letter. Where did the Alif came from? Alif came from by switching Waw into Alif.
Yes.
Up to number 5, we changed the Waw into Alif, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
But after that, we had to drop the Alif because two Sakinas were right next to each other and they were causing trouble. So the weak letter was kicked out, said, hey, we don't need you. So from Siga number 5 onward, it will be Kulna, Kulta, Kultuma, Kultum, Kulti, Kultuma, Kultunna, Kultu, Kulna. Okay? So read this, inshallah, it will start to make sense to you, and write it down the way I explained it, and it will make sense. Now,
Brother Abid, can we say that we just drop the Waw out of that one altogether and then don't need to change Alif and then Lam and then, or this is a rule we have to apply? Because if you take the Waw out, it will become Qalna and then because of Nasara, you need to put the Dhamma, it become Kulna.
yes, okay, so if you can remember like that, that is fine with me, but the proper way is that you change it into Waw into Alif, and then based on the rule, you have dropped Alif altogether because you had two Sakinas next to each other.
Okay, yeah, that is what I wanted clarification.
Yeah. So whatever you want to be comfortable in putting in your head, that is fine. But then you will have a problem that why the Qalu, the Fatha become Dhamma. How did you become that? It's based on
because of Nasara.
Because of the Nasara. Yes. So there are some little bit additional rules and little bit complicated rules. And again, you will learn it by practice, inshallah. Yes?
Brother
so,
Abid.
Ji, Jawad bhai.
So when you change the Waw with the Fatha with the Alif, did the Alif have a Sukun or did the Alif have a Fatha?
Alif has a Fatha.
Sukun.
Oh, sorry. Sukun. Yes, Sukun.
So just want to know, like, do we always change the Waw with the Alif with the Sukun, or is it the Waw is replaced with the Alif with a Fatha?
Okay, let's look at this one. See, it's Kawala, right?
Yes.
And Yakulu, yes?
Yes.
Where did I do it? Over here. Kawala, Yakulu. So when I moved this Dhamma to the previous one, because the previous one was Sakina.
Right.
Yes. Now it becomes Dhamma. So what happened to Waw? It's empty.
It has a Sukun, right?
Yes. So if it's empty, basically it has Sukun, right?
Correct.
And similarly, when I change it over here to Ka, there was no Haraka. I said, think that there is a Sukun here.
Okay.
And then the Lam also has Sukun. The two Sukuns right next to each other creates problem. So one has to go. And what will go? Alif will go because Alif is the weak letter.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah? Okay. So based on that, let's see if I can... I'm not going to cover Mudare, but let me give you another one. This one is Khafa. Okay? Look what happened. Khafa, Khafa, Khafu, Khafat, Khafata. Up to Siga number 5, you see that the Waw is replaced into Alif?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it was actually Khawafa or Khawifa. Yes? Because it's Samiya, Yasmu. So put, let's go back for a second. Okay. Here. So if we go, if the pattern is Samiya, sami'a. Kha, waw, fa. Is the waw in the ayn position?
Yes.
It will become
Khawifa.
Okay, khawifa. Now, is there a haraka on the ayn letter?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there a letter? There is a haraka on the other letter.
Yeah.
So waw is replacing two, and what is
Alif.
that? So it become khafa. You see that?
Khafa.
Khafa. Have you seen khawifa in the Quran somewhere?
No.
Because of this rule. Okay. So up to Siga number 5, it becomes this. But what happened with Siga number 6? It becomes khifna. Even the alif is dropped. Yes? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Why the fatha change into kasra? Because we said if it's a bab other than nasira, then we replace it with
Kasra.
kasra. So khifna, khifta, khiftuma, khiftum, khifti, khiftuma, khiftunna, khiftu, khifna. So if you get your head around this concept, maybe next week, inshallah, you will start to see why this happened.
We will practice during the
Yes,
weekend.
yes.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. So this is what you are going to get from me today, like this one. And next week, I will give you more documented, more clear documentation on this. Agree?
Abid bhai?
Ji bhai.
So on this surface, we can say that unlike misal, in ajwaf, the past tense also gets changed, right?
Yes, yes. So things are getting a little bit complicated.
Right. Thank you.
Okay. But we are not scared because alhamdulillah, we can dissect and digest anything we like when we put our head to it, inshallah. Okay. So with that, inshallah, today what we'll do, we'll give more time to our Quran reading and we'll try to understand through the tafsir, inshallah, because a couple of brothers told me that, brother, maybe you should give more time to tafsir because at the end of the day, this is what we are trying to accomplish, right? We are trying to understand.
Indeed.
So let's not rush through it. And we have good 25 minutes. Inshallah, we'll try to read this together. Okay, so the surah I have picked, or the verses I have picked, is from Surah Ar-Ra'd, and the meaning of Ar-Ra'd is the thunder, is the surah number 13 in the Quran. Okay, and it is talking about something we want to hear, and inshallah this will improve or increase our iman, and it will increase our the motivation to be more better and more good. Okay. So, A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Brother Khalid, you have something to say?
No.
Okay. Alladhina yufuna bi ahdillahi wa la yankuduna al-misaq. Right? Now, tell me, are you able to understand it without me telling you what the meaning of these words are, or you still feel that you don't understand?
Yeah, alhamdulillah, we understand that.
Very good. So, yufuna, we know that something to do with fi'l mudari, and it's jama.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yankuduna, similar pattern, is a mudari and something to do with
the
jama, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if I look at yankuduna, and if I ask you, tell me the root words. So, Sister Nasreen, you asked me this question earlier. I tell you an easy way to find the root words, especially in this case. Is ya the alamat al-mudari?
Naqada. Naqada will be the nun qaf dal.
Nun kaf dad.
Nah, mashallah. See, now you guys can already do it, right? Now here, yufuna, if I look at it, yufuna, from the perspective of this surah, just to give you a perspective on this. So this is Surah Ar-Ra'd, yes? Look at the yufuna, okay? Now tell me what you see. Waw, fa, ya.
Yeah.
Is it misal wawi?
Yes, it's been replaced.
Misal wawi, right?
Misale Wabi and
This is Lafif.
This is Lafif.
Also Lafif.
Lafif Mafrook.
Yes.
Lafif mafruq, yeah.
Or mafruq. So
Yes.
aslama yuslimu, since we have not read it, but we know by now we know that they will be changed into either alif or ya or waw depending on some rule, or they're going to be dropped altogether. Agree?
Yes.
Okay. So over here again, if we look at it, the you or the ya is basically the alamat mudare.
Right.
Yeah.
Then we have waw, then we have the rest of the word. So it is basically babe if'alun. This is this one, not the daraba yadribu. So since we have not learned it, I'm not going to go into detail, but you see it says au fa and you fi. You follow? So from you fi is singular, it will become you funa, you fani two, you funa more than, okay, plural. Now if I change the translation into English, then it will say they are the people who fulfill their covenant. So allazina, those people who fulfill. Ahad, what is ahad? Ahdi, your
Promise.
covenant.
Promise, covenant.
Yes, with ahdillahi, promise to who? Allah's promise.
Allah's promise.
Wala, and do not. Yankudun al-misak, and they do not break the
contract.
Misak is
Contract.
Al-misak means this is a noun.
Yeah.
Al-misak mean this is a noun. So if you want to look at yankuduna, you basically go back and let's look at the yankuduna. Oh, what did I do? I think it took me back to.
So Yankuduna was okay because there were no weak letters in there, and I could tell that there was a prefix. Ya was a prefix.
Yeah, okay. So here, Yankuduna. Let's take a look at this. So there is noon, qaf, dal. As Sister Nasreen said, there is no weak letter, so we really don't have to do any substitution there. But I'm telling you how you look at these information. So the meaning is from Nasara Yansuru. We understand that, correct? Jama, Muzakkar, active voice, third person, and the meaning is they break. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, those who fulfill the covenant of Allah and do not break the contract. What happened to them? What else they do? وَالَّذِينَ يَسِلُونَ مَا أَمَرَ اللَّهُ بِهِ أَن يُؤْصَلَ وَيَخْشَوْنَ رَبَّهُمْ وَيَخَافُونَ سُوءَ الْحِسَابِ. That means, and those who join what has been commanded by Allah, Amar bil Maruf, for it, to be enjoined and fear their Lord and are afraid of the evil of the account. Su al-Hisab, Su al-Hisab meaning, and those who join which Allah has ordered to be joined and fear their Lord and are afraid of the evil of their account. Making sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Over here in Urdu, there is some additional information. Or jin rishtai, yani the relatives. This hadith or this verse is, in some sense, it is to the people related to you. कि उनके the rights of the relatives, जिन रिश्ते हाय कराबत के जोड़े रखने का अल्लाह ने हुक्म दिया है, इनको जोड़े रखते हैं और अपने परवरदिगार से डरते हैं और बुरे हिसाब से खौफ रखते हैं. Meaning they are scared that they don't want to have an evil account. Making sense?
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a look at this verse in detail over here. So what are we trying to learn here? The qualities of the blessed ones. The people, what are the qualities of the people who do these kind of things, and which will lead them to paradise. So if we want to have a map for paradise today, then these are the qualities we need to bring in ourselves. You get the idea now? Why am I trying to go over these verses?
Yep.
That these are the qualities defined by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, that if my people are like these, if they have these qualities, they will be led to Jannah. Okay, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala states that those who have these good qualities will earn the good final home, victory and triumph in this life and the hereafter. Do you need anything else? Do we need anything else?
No.
What do we have to do? We have to fulfill the promise we have done with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we should not break the contract. Okay, so those who fulfill the covenant of Allah and break not the trust, they are nothing like the hypocrites who, when one of them makes a covenant, he breaks it. If he disputes, he is most quarrelsome. If he speaks, he lies. And if he is interested, he betrays his trust. Allah said next, and those who join that which Allah has commanded to be joined, they are good to their relatives, and they do not sever the bond of kinship. They are also kind to the poor and the needy and generous in nature. What message do we get from this one? Do I have to explain to you, or is this simple enough for us to understand this? Any comments?
It's simple enough.
Very clear.
Yeah. So وَالَّذِينَ يَصِلُونَ مَا أَمَرَ اللَّهُ بِهِ أَن يُوصَلَ. Meaning in the read between the lines that these people are saying what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to say, and they are good to their relatives. And they're not cutting the relationship. They're not saying, okay, you're not my brother anymore. I'm not going to talk to you. You're not my sister anymore. I'm upset with you, and that's it. We are not going to be doing anything in happiness and in sadness, or you are no more for me. Are we doing that? No. Then they are also kind to the poor. So there are people left and right to us. Are we oblivious of them, or are we also trying to take care of them? And do we have the qualities of a hypocrite? What are the three qualities Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us about a hypocrite? That
Liars.
When he makes a promise, he breaks it. If he fights with you, he will come to vulgarity. He will be very vulgar and will say all kind of stuff to you, right? When he speaks, he's going to lie. And if you trust him with something, he will break your trust. So do you think that a person with these qualities, which are the opposite of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning in these verses, do you think he will lead to paradise or hellfire?
No.
He will be led
Hellfire.
with these qualities, a person will be led to the hellfire, not paradise. So what else? وَيَخْشَوْنَ رَبَّهُمْ. What is the meaning of yakshawna?
It's fear. Fearful.
Remember, in the Quran we say we need khushu. Yes. What we say? We need khushu. Okay, so let's say if we look at this one over here.
Khasha. Yeah.
Okay. Yakshawna. So khashaya. Okay, is this
this is Nakis.
Nakis yai.
Nakis yai.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and fear from Bab Nasara. Da'a yad'u. So, khashiya yaksha. Okay. So, inshallah, when we get to Nakis, we will learn the rules, but you can start to understand that how many unsound verbs are there in every verse. Making sense? Okay. So, what do? And they are the fearful of their Lord. And okay, so let's go back. So, and fear their Lord in what they do or do not do of actions and statements. So not only actions, but also their statements. They remember that Allah is watching during all of this and are afraid of His terrifying reckoning in the hereafter. Therefore, all their affairs are on the straight path and correct, whether they are active or idle, and in all of their affairs, including those that affect others. So our actions affect only ourselves, or it affects the people around us?
It affects the
people around us.
Okay. Now, sometime, do I really have to scold a person or say something nasty or mean to them to make them feel better or feel bad? Or can I say that through my body language?
Yes, through your body language.
Right? So again, the end result of reading these verses is that if we have these qualities in ourselves, then we should be happy and make a promise that we will improve them. That's the first message we should take from this. And then we said if these qualities are not in us yet, then we should strive to develop them as quickly as possible. Yes? And if we have 50-50, we have some and we don't have some, we are mixture of both, that okay, when we are in good mood, we make everybody happy and we take care of all the necessary orders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but when we are mad or when we are not in our best of behavior, we go and left and right and hurt everybody around us. So first of all, I apply this to me and I can see some of the shortcomings. And inshallah, this is the quality of the Quran and reading and connecting with it, that it washes away your bad deeds. It also washes away your bad characters, and it is shifa. It has a healing power. Now, when you have a fever or depression or some other thing, that is the sickness of the body. But are you aware of the sickness of the heart? Is jealousy, is when you have grudge, you have resentment, you have this kind of कीना. उर्दू में कीना कहते हैं, इंग्लिश में क्या बोलेंगे इजाज भाई कीना को? Envy is still a positive. कीना is like grudge, or you have some sort of
jealousy.
Jealousy is hasad. Hasad is jealousy.
Yeah.
Malice, malice.
Hatred.
Hatred, yes. Hatred is another one. That means you hate somebody in your heart. So on surface, you talk to them nicely, but in your heart, you don't feel that way towards them. Right? So what is the next quality they have? وَالَّذِينَ صَبَرُوا ابْتِغَاءَ وَجْهِ رَبِّهِمْ. And let's say we go back here. So are we clear on this, number 21? Okay. وَالَّذِينَ صَبَرُوا. وَالَّذِينَ صَبَرُوا. Sabaru is from sabar, patient. Those who are patient. ابْتِغَاءَ وَجْهِ رَبِّهِمْ. They are seeking the face of their Lord. What is the meaning of seeking the face of their Lord?
The presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
The simple terms will be, they are patient because of the sake of Allah. This is meaning that they are patient because of for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because they want to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes, that is the simple meaning of this. Rabbihim. Then what else they do? Now sometime you are patient, even though you have the power to react, even though you have the power to correct the other person. But why are you patient? Because you know that it will please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Or in some situation you are patient because you know that regardless of the outcome, you are trying to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Agree? Then what else you do? Wa aqamus salah. And you establish the, right? What is the meaning of establishing the salah? What is the meaning of that? The meaning of establishing salah means that you pray on time. You are always concerned about your salah. You take ownership. You're not saying that, oh, this is a burden, or I have to pray again. No, you are waiting for the next prayer, and you are making masajid. You are going in the masajid. You're creating that environment where more people come and they pray in the jama'ah. Right? That is the meaning of establishing the salah. How do you establish salah in the home? You pray yourself, and you tell your family members to pray, and you don't be lazy about it. You pray when the time starts. As soon as it starts, your first priority is that you wanna pray on time. Agree? Okay, so let's take a look at here. And those who remain patient, seeking their Lord's face, they observe patience while staying away from sin and evil deeds, doing so while dedicating themselves to the service of their Lord, the exalted and most honored, and seeking his pleasure and generous reward. You see that now? Why are you patient? Because of all these feelings you have in your heart that you want to get reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wa aqamus salah, and perform the salah, for preserving its limits, times, bowing and prostration and humbleness. Now, in the salah, also establishing salah means that when it's ruku, you don't do half ruku. You don't just rush through the ruku. You do the bare minimum so that the arkan is, the rukun of salah is met. Making sense? And then in the sajda, you will see people that they're doing sajda in a very hasty way. They just put their head and then they lift it right away. They're not even connecting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And humbleness. Are you praying to show off people, or are you praying to be humble in front of you? You are in the mindset that right now you're in a meeting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You do all this according to the established limits and the rulings of the religion. So you're not praying 5 rakah because you felt like more iman today, and you said, okay, today I'm going to pray 5 because I'm feeling more close to Allah. No, you still pray according to the limits or the sharia. Do you get the big picture now? What is establishing salah means?
Yeah.
Okay, alhamdulillah. And then we say, what else they do? وَأَنْفَقُوا مِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ. And they spend out of what we have provided them.
Provided.
Sirraun, secretly, وَأَلَانِيَةً, and publicly, وَيَدْرَؤُونَ بِالْحَسَنَةِ السَّيِّئَةِ, and they repel the good with the evil. أُولَٰئِكَ لَهُمْ عُقْبَى الدَّارِ. So end result will be, they will have the final attainment of the home, which is Jannah.
Jannah.
So do we have these qualities, brothers and sisters? Alhamdulillah, to some extent.
Yeah.
But the key is, if we are following our religion, if we are praying our 5 salahs, we are reading Quran, we are doing sadaqah, we are doing zakah, we are doing hajj, like we are praying, we are doing fasting, the chances are we are very close to this group. And our heart, because of these activities, yes, we will have shortcomings, but still we will fall to some degree in this group. Agree with me on that?
Yeah.
But if we are totally away from deen, do you think we will care what we do to others? Do we even feel like praying? Or are we going to give any money, our money, to anybody else?
No.
No. If somebody is mean to us, if we have no iman in our heart, and if we have no fear of Allah, do you think we will return the bad deed with a bad deed or a good deed? Most
That is
likely,
right.
if somebody slapped me once, I'm going to slap them 4 times. Follow? Making sense? Okay.
Yes.
So let's take a look. Anfiqu, and spend out of which we have bestowed on them. They spend on those whom they are obliged to spend on them, such as their spouses. So do we spend on our family? Yes. Do we do it with the bad taste in our mouth? No.
No.
Relatives, sometimes we do. Okay, they're not very nice with us, but we still try to help them, right? And the poor and the needy in general, right? Sirra is hidden. Alania is open. So secretly and openly, they spend during all conditions and time, whether during the night or the day, secretly and open. وَيَدْرَؤُونَ بِالْحَسَنَةِ سَيِّئَةً, and repel evil with good. They resist evil with good conduct. When the people harm them, they face their harm with good patience, forbearing, forgiveness and pardon. Allah said in another ayah that repel the evil with one which is better. Then verily he between whom and you there was enmity, will become as though he was a close friend. Do you understand the meaning of this verse?
Yeah.
Use this technique in your real life and you will find out that this statement is true. What Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, and the physical or practical experience is that, let's say there is a person who you don't get along with, okay? And they're always mean to you, they're always belittling you, or they're always doing wrong to you. If you are patient, and if you return all their bad deed with a good deed, or you keep forgiving them or ignoring them or letting them go, a day will come that same person will become your best friend. And this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying. Why? What is the quality we have to develop to do that? Repel the evil with one which is better. Then verily he between him and you there was enmity, will become as though he was a close friend.
This is very hard to do.
Very hard to do. That is what our deen is telling us. Your prayers, your fasting, your sadaqah is for yourself. That's haququllah. But the haququl ibad is the most difficult one. So everything around you is a test. I'm a test for you, you are a test for me. Okay? Your wife is a test for you, your husband is a test for you. Your children are a test for you. Similarly, your brother, sister, your community member, everybody we deal with we are dealing with a test. How we deal with them will be judged on that. Do you see the big picture what I'm trying to say here?
Yes.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. So then what will happen to them? These people, they have the best of the home. So those will have the good consequences of this home. What is that home? Jannatu adnin yadkhulunaha wa man salaha min abaihim وأزواجهم وذريتهم والملائكة يدخلون عليهم من كل باب. So not only themselves, they will have the gardens of Eden or pleasure, they will enter them, and whoever were righteous from their fathers, their spouses and their offsprings, then they, not only you, your family members, whoever makes it to Jannah, inshallah, because of these good deeds, they will be together in Jannah with you.
Amin.
Right? Ameen. Allahumma Rabbana Jalla. And the angels will enter upon them from every gate. How many gates of Jannah we know?
8.
8. So they will be entering, the malaika will be entering on, and then they will, what will they say? The angel will say, Salamun alaikum bima sabartum. Peace be on you. Do we say assalamu alaikum to each other?
Yeah.
Look, Salamun alaikum, saying peace be upon you, bima, for what sabartum, you patiently endured. So in the dunya, you had a really rough time, tough time. There are people left and right. Could be your husband, could be your mother-in-law, could be your brother, could be your sister. They give you the hardest time in this dunya. But you dealt with them with sabr, because you said at the end of the day, I want my ajr from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then on that day, because of those patient things you have done, whether it's dealing with people or any other thing, staying away from haram or doing the things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked us to do, then because of that patient behavior, inshallah, we will get the Jannah, and where our people like our fathers, our relatives, and our wives and children will be with us, inshallah. So Allahumma inni asalukal Jannah. Yeah. فَنِعْمَ uqbaddar. And excellent is the final attainment of the home. Now, as I mentioned many times, there is always a contrast. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when talks about one group, He gives the opposite group. So look at it. I'm just going to do one quick thing, and then inshallah we will be out of time. This one. So وَالَّذِينَ يَنْكُدُونَ, and those on the other hand who broke the covenant of Allah, مِن بَعْدِ مِيثَاقِهِ, after they have agreed upon it. Okay, what is breaking a contract? When you have already agreed on a contract, then you break it. If you break it without agreeing, is that breaking?
No.
No. You only break it when you have already said we will follow. وَيَقْطَعُونَ مَا أَمَرَ اللَّهُ بِهِ أَن يُوصَلَ, and they sever what has been commanded by Allah for it to be joined. وَيُفْسِدُونَ فِي الْأَرْضِ, and they spread corruption in the earth. Then أُولَٰئِكَ لَهُمُ اللَّعْنَةُ وَلَهُمْ سُوءُ الدَّارِ. Okay, over here, uqbaddar. Uqbaddar means the best. Su'uddar, evil. Dar is home. Dar is home. So, but those who break the covenant of Allah after contracting it and sever that which Allah has ordered to be joined and spread corruption on the earth, for them is the curse, and they will have the worst home. Allahumma Rabbana la taj'alna minhum.
Ameen.
Okay, so inshallah, I hope that you can read these verses one more time on your own time, and please go through these tafasir. This inshallah will give you a lot of insight. Like I didn't get a chance to cover this, but this will give you a lot of happiness when you find out that when we're not only going alone, we're going with our fathers, our wives, and our children, and then Allah will gather them with their loved ones from among their father, family members, and offspring, those who were righteous and deserve to enter paradise, so that their eyes are comforted by seeing them. Now, if I die today and if I see my mom and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless me and my mom with Jannah, do you think I'm going to be happy, or am I going to be miserable?
Happy.
Very happy.
So inshallah, this is what we are trying to do. We are trying to be patient in this dunya, trying to follow to the best of our capability, trying to stay away from all the things we could stay away from, and inshallah hoping that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will enter us Jannah and combine us, unite us with our loved ones, inshallah. And